Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am not Blake. I am Ferris stepping in tonight for Blake, and I am here with Ron.
What's happening?
And on tonight's episode of the Brewtiful Game, USA, USA, USA. Well, we are 2 nights on from that amazing knockout round of 32 win from our U.S. men's national team as they beat Bosnia and Herzegovina. Ron, we don't usually do good against teams that have that whole "and" in there, and it feels like we're playing against 2 countries, my friend. But we did score 2 goals in Santa Clara, California, but not without a little bit of a bummer, as Balogun will miss the next match on Monday night for his controversial red card. We'll get into that here in a little bit. So we'll discuss all of the talking points from that match on what would have been Thursday or Wednesday night now, I guess.
Yep.
Because we're recording on Friday. Yep. And that just a historic win that puts us through to Monday night's round of 16 match. Then as the halftime whistle blows, the traveling samurai of the sushi, and the he too will clean up his mess, Ron shares with us all the news that's fit to drink in a special World Cup inspired edition of Ron's Beer News. And for the second half of the pod, we run our 2-minute La Liga's Roundup Mash Drill. I don't know where it's at on the board quite yet, so I forgive me for not playing the whip yet. As we update you on what is actually going to be pretty much every other match of the round of 32. There's one kicking off here in a little bit, which is Colombia and who?
Right now it's Colombia and Ghana.
Ghana, so they're kicking off.
I don't know, 7 minutes away.
7 minutes away. All right, as I'm recording this, about 9:30 or so almost on Friday, and that will end the round of 32 match. So we'll kind of go over all of those matches quickly in our abridged version of a 2-minute drill in La Liga's Roundup. But first, our beer. Do you mind if I go first?
I hit it.
All right, so I kind of have a themed beer. Themed beer, yes. And I had a themed beer the other night at Ivanhoe Park, which hopefully we'll be able to have on the pod here soon later. But as you know, or as you may not know, depending on when you listen to this, tomorrow is the 4th of July. Celebrating 250 years of this great country we call the United States of America. So, at the liquor store down the street, I found from Great Lakes Brewing Company the 250th anniversary Independence Day and American Double IPA.
Nice.
It is a limited run double feature IPA series that Great Lakes Brewing is doing. And you can go over to greatlakesbrewing.com. I guarantee you've probably seen them in stores, from the Elliot Ness Amber Lager to the Edmund Fitzgerald. They just have a whole bunch of beers, and if you're ever up there in kind of the Midwest, you'll be able to find a lot of them. But this is a limited run double feature IPA series. It's an 8% double IPA, 40 on the old IBU. Hops are Trident, Simicone, and Zappa. Malts, 2-row base, Carapace, honey malt, flaked oats, wheat, and torrefied wheat. Torrefied. Not terrified like Bosnia and Herzegovina were of our attack. Pairs well with grilled meats, fried chicken, and the ever-favorite peach cobbler. And
nice.
What's kind of neat from this is you go to their site, and when you look at this beer, it gives you the release. So it was released in June, so it's not a very old beer. But then it goes, you can find it, so you can search where to find it. And obviously I was able to find that all the way down here in Florida. But then it goes, download the fact sheet. And it's like a PDF of basically everything that I just said. And it's cheers to 250 years of independence with a bold, bright double IPA that raises a glass to freedom. Amen.
Heck yeah. So, in case you're not aware, torrefied wheat in brewing does several things. It is packed with like high molecular weight proteins.
Okay.
And so that helps create like a long-lasting kind of lacy head in beers. Torrefied wheat doesn't require roasting, and it helps create haze. So it's perfect for the IPA brewing process.
I love it. Thanks for that fun fact, because I just learned something new. I did not know that.
Yeah. And so as a little peer behind the curtain for everyone, we were actually going to record this last night. But Adobe had other plans for us with a 12-hour update.
Sure
So
did.
I'm recording from my home, and I am still in the process of doing the great beer fridge clean out. So I have one of my favorite style of beer is the triple, the Belgian triple.
Oh, so you can't be doing a Belgian triple right before we come on.
I'm doing an American triple. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. I love it. Even better.
American triple ale from Coppertail Brewing here in Tampa.
Oh, heck
Their
yeah.
beer,
Good brewery,
Unholy.
good beer.
It is, it's a 9.2%er. Look out. It's complex fruit esters and Belgian yeast character with balanced by a soft malt sweetness and a balanced hop character with a lovely warming alcohol finish. We've had Coppertail on the pod before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we've had Unholy on there, but since I am cleaning out the old beer fridge, this is one of the last appropriate ones to have on the podcast. American triple.
Fair enough. You're here to that. And while we crack these, I'll say, depending on the sports game you go to here in Florida, especially if you're in the Tampa Bay area where Coppertail is located, they will have Unholy there in cans or sometimes on tap, whether it's at the Rays game or at a Bolts game. It's always funny to watch somebody get it for the first time, take a sip, and not realize that it's 9-point-some%.
Yeah.
It's not your average ball game beer.
Nope. And they what's the Coppertail Brewing they have at Inter & Co. when we go to Orlando City games?
I don't know if they have Coppertail.
I thought they had Coppertail there.
They may have at one point. I mean, it's changed so much over the years, but no, I think we only have Tactical, Hourglass, High Stepper, so Crooked Can, High Lie, Cigar City, Tripping Animals Down South. I don't think
I thought they did
there. No,
anyway,
it might have, because they have a few. Free Dive is another one of their core beers.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. It's been at the stadium at one point over the course of the 10 years, but darn, things change so much. But anyways, cheers. Happy birthday, America. Whoa.
Perfect. Good old American Muscle Triple Ale. Perfect.
Yep, and I'm doing a good old American double IPA, and that is every bit of a double IPA, I tell you that much. But it is tasty because it has a spicy finish.
Okay.
Which is interesting from a double. It's a smooth double, IPA, and a lot of times you get that with the double. It's almost like the double bit of hops just kind of helped to balance it out, in a way. But at the end, I don't know if it's maybe that torrefied wheat you're talking about, but it just has a little bit of a kick. Maybe it's some of that like honey malt too, but it's tasty.
Nice. This is definitely in the triple family. It's got that kind of sweet candy taste to it, with a bit of the Belgian yeast ale esters. It's quite tasty.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the better core triples from a brewery in the state. It's very well known, especially in the Central Florida area, just in general. But yeah, no, it's very good. So good selection, my friend. All right, shall I move on to a little bit of footy?
Be rude if we don't.
Woo, man. USA 2, Bosnia and Herzegovina 0. For the first time in 24 years and only for the second time in U.S. men's national team history have the U.S. men won a knockout stage game at the World Cup. Different than the Paraguay match, different than the Australia match, and obviously different than the Turkey match. This match the other night was a complete U.S. men's national team game to the likes that we have rarely ever seen before from a men's team. From being on the front foot to being organized to seeing out the game with the defensive solidity while continuing to threaten on attack. It's just all facets of a U.S. team that we just have rarely ever seen. Now, the only real bummer of this was our star striker, Flo Balogun, sent off for a deemed, I'm doing quotations, challenge on Maharovic in the 61st minute. But Balogun did make his own history as he joined only 2 other players in World Cup history with both a goal and a red card in a knockout stage game. Everybody knows the Zidane headbutt. That was one of them. I think you have to go all the way back to the 60s or 50s with Garrincha for Brazil was the other one. Then in the 82nd minute, up step Malik Tillman, who buried an absolute chef's kiss of a free kick to seal the match. My word. Just what a match. What a job the men did to get us to the round of 16. And whew, I was exhausted after that one, but man, I enjoyed every bit of it.
I know, God, that was an epic performance, and I think it's true. This is not something we have seen in a men's national team for quite some time. Right? They were getting physically bullied by Bosnia, by B&H, and they didn't complain. They didn't roll around on the floor. They didn't do any of that.
No.
They just stood up and just kept playing. Right?
Yeah. And the weird thing is the ref let them play. Up until that red card, there were 0 yellow cards. And there were plenty of opportunities in the game for that to happen.
Yeah.
Edin Dzeko clocked Tyler Adams. Like a proper hockey style, like check to the boards type.
Right.
Got nothing for it. Absolutely nothing for it, which is mind-boggling. But to Tyler Adams, credit, we could not have lost him because he was just the metronome in midfield that was superb on the night. Got back up in one of the next challenges, showed, I don't remember what the player was, but showed him, hey, I'm still there, and gave him a little bit of, extra of a shot. So it was almost that, you're going to hit us, we're going to hit you type of thing, and then we're going to see who kind of comes out on the end there.
Yeah, this was an incredible announcement of our identity. Right? Like one of the things the U.S. men have lacked in many versions and many tournaments in the past has been an identity.
Yeah, and I think the identity, too, comes with, we say it a lot about club teams, but they did a very professional job. This was a very, very professional job. Yes, we understand that Bosnia and Herzegovina are 64th ranked and we're 17th ranked, right? But we'll get to a game much later on that was just played right now, and you tell the number 1 team in the world how much those rankings actually mean when it comes down to a World Cup knockout stage game, right?
Yeah, a 0.
Exactly.
It means absolutely nothing.
But you look at like the momentum chart in this game, there was barely a blop of blue down below for all the way up until that red card in the 64th
Yeah.
minute. It was a complete, a professional, a well pressed, well passed, well organized. A few moments there early where Matt Freese had to make a few saves. I don't think he had a great game overall, but to get his hand on the ball a few different times, not great saves, but to make a few early on, I think probably helped. But all in all, it was just a very professional performance where pretty much everybody was rated 7s and above for how they just went about this game. And I think it's a testament to not only Pochettino, because I think he did a fantastic job in this and how the game was managed, but a testament to these players who have, yes, they've had some momentum over the first few games in the World Cup, but the expectation to do what they were doing and to get to this round was the expectation. It absolutely was for them to get to the round of 32 and win that game. But I think it's more, to me, how they did it. Right?
Yeah, certainly.
They beat a Paraguay team coming out 4-1. We'll talk about them here in a bit because they knocked out a big team in the round of 32. They saw out a tough Australian group that made it to the next round that just got knocked out today. Yes, right. The Turkey, but we switched out the entire team, on that, and still almost came back. But I think with this, you just saw like a complete game from the attack to the pressing to the defense to the well-drilled kind of organization that each player in the team had, to this just threatening attack, to going down a man and not breaking it all, bending a little bit, but then that bend shot back like it was a catapult, because we went on some attacks a man down that were just as deadly. And I would dare say we were more threatening on their goal when we went a man down than they were on our goal.
Yeah, without question. And it also has to be said, how far Pochettino has brought this team and instilled in them. The tactics were incredible. So much so that when we went a man down, Poch didn't start subbing people out. He didn't put in some sort of, defensive midfielder. He didn't put in an additional defensive player. He let them go out and play the game he knew they were capable of playing, and didn't start subbing until like the 82nd minute or something like that.
Try the 87th.
Right? 87th.
That was the 2 subs, yeah.
But the fact that he has the confidence in the team to let them play for, 26 minutes, a man down, and not make some sort of alteration in the tactics. It's also cool to see Poch be happy. I don't know that I've ever actually seen him happy.
No, and you fast forward to the end of the game, the man is belting Country Roads like he's at a Nashville karaoke bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good to see
awesome.
him happy like that. I hate the whole Country Roads thing, but that's a discussion for a different time. But it's just incredible. And I think we need to address the red card thing, because there's all these memes going around, and, Messi absolutely raked a person's calf and, doesn't get set off, no problem like that. This, we went in the chat, like our group chat, and I put in the IFAB rules for getting sent off. And it says that it has to be excessive force or brutality. And neither one of those are in this. It is an inadvertent landing on a player. It isn't, he doesn't even know he's there until he steps on him. So the fact that he gets a red card and VAR is like the VAR, I think, is not as good as it could be in this tournament. Usually it's fabulous. But I don't think it's that great, only because when the ref walks up to the monitor, he sees a still frame of whatever they think is whatever the VAR, the head VAR thinks is the infraction, right?
Which is a sham to begin with.
Correct.
It's like I don't know how to compare it, but it's like going into the courtroom and the prosecution seeing the knife laid out in front of the prime, witness there right in the box. Okay. It's a giveaway, and it just leads them to go, okay, well, let's look at a freeze frame, slow motion, stop still. That is not how the game is played.
And they only see one camera angle. They're not seeing other camera angles. You and I were watching, what game did we watch last night together at the end?
Portugal
Ronaldo,
and
Portugal, that's it.
Croatia, yeah.
Yeah, and I am convinced that guy did not touch the ball. That header did not touch the ball to rule out the tying Croatia goal.
I bet you he shaved his head today, though.
Right, yeah, right. But they only show, the VAR only showed the one angle that made it look like there was contact.
Mm-hmm.
But in the commentary, the color commentary, we got to see so many different angles.
Yeah.
Why didn't VAR get to see that?
And I certainly, now we don't always see what they're looking at on the screen, so I certainly hope that after they show that freeze frame, and we know they show that when they walk up, because we've seen it many times as the ref is walking up to the monitor. You can clearly see it on the monitor where it's paused right at the moment of impact, whether it's from the ball to the hand, the foot to a shin, whatever it is.
Right.
So then what they see after that, who knows if they do it slow motion, fast motion, show this angle, that angle, we don't really know. But still, it's, I think the Athletic had an article about, like, why are we playing these things in slow motion, especially to begin with? Play it at real time, and then if we want to freeze frame it down and take a little bit more, I don't want to say nuance, but a little bit more detailed look at it, if you will. Because I'm not saying that it wasn't a foul or that it didn't look, I don't want to say nasty, but it looked like it was reckless in a way. And that it probably should have been a yellow card.
Sure.
But to have it as a red card
a red.
is absolutely outstanding. And if you're going to do that, the main problem that I have with it is they're jostling for the ball, and he's trying to put his foot down. He's not necessarily trying to make a challenge. He has nowhere else to put his foot down. But they're jostling, and they're going together for it. He's not coming from behind. He's not going, for the ball and having a complete miss. And the problem that I have with it, go to the first game that Argentina played where Messi scored a hat trick. After his first goal, he had virtually the same contact. I'm not saying this is similar, same challenge, same contact, but raking his studs down the back of somebody through their Achilles. He's coming from behind the player going towards.
It starts their calf.
Yeah, from the calf down to the Achilles.
All the way down to the Achilles.
But he's coming from behind that player, trying to chase that player down, and does that. Which to me is more reckless, more dangerous. And Messi got nothing. Nada.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's mind-boggling. And for this to be the first card in this game, which is outstanding to me because there's more opportunities for yellow cards and how you were reffing the game. And your first one is you didn't see it fit at that time to brandish a red or call it a red. It wasn't until that player went down like they just got shot by a sniper, rolled around on the floor for 5-10 minutes, gave the ref something to think about, VAR in his ear. Now he goes over and now he makes a change.
Right.
That player got up and was waving to come back onto the field virtually as soon as the play resumed.
Yeah.
So he wasn't injured. It's not like it was a career ruining thing. It was an accidental play of both of them going for it and Balogun trying to put his foot down. Now he has to sit out, and we can't appeal that.
Yeah, it's a yellow all day long. It's not a red. But I guess we should digress. We have no control over any of it.
Yeah. So yes, as we kind of now look forward to Monday, he will be missing. Excuse me. Again, no way to appeal that. We can only appeal if for some reason FIFA deemed that it was like a 3-game suspension or something like that, which I don't think they have. I don't think they would. I think it just kind of lets it die. He says that's out of the game now, and we go on. So, Ron, how do you think they're going to set up against Belgium without Flo Balogun in it?
I think they'll just swap Pepe out for Balogun.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a reason to change the rest of the secret sauce. To be honest,
I agree because you
right.
You don't want to do like a Geo playing in a false 9 type of thing. We saw how that worked, but few years back, in Qatar, false 9 thing did not suit us against say a top European team. We played the Dutch, but I agree. I think it's why mix the entire chemistry set together when you only got to mix one vial in there, right?
Yeah, and it just means that the likes of McKinney, Pulisic, Freeman, Tillman, I think they're just going to have to, I think they're going to have to be a little higher up on their game too, because Pepe is certainly a talented player, but he is not a Balogun, right? So they're just going to have to really help support him to allow him to get some freedom. And his hold-up play is not as good as Balogun's. So the rest of the team is really going to have to step up to support Pepe in this.
Yeah, I think his hold-up play is decent, and that's why he came on in the 87th to try to hold it up there a bit.
It's just not the same as Balogun's.
No, because
he doesn't have the stature.
Balogun's a better runner of the channels, a better presser because he's a little bit just better at moving on the other side of defenders, and that's how he won. Essentially the goal, and then he had a chance earlier that was offside about the same thing. So I think his press is very good. Balogun's also I don't want to call him a poacher in the box. But he's
just a
sniper.
Opportunity.
He's just a sniper in there. Like he does it with such fluidity where Pepe's gonna be more of your out and out number 9-ish. A little bit faster, not as big, but more technical as a striker of sorts. But he doesn't run the channels particularly great. He doesn't do the 1-2s particularly great. So it's going to be different, but I don't mind him. And I think, based on what we've seen, a lot of people are saying maybe Haji Wright. Haji Wright's seen 2 minutes so far in the tournament, at the very end of the game. And I like Haji Wright, and I would love to see him come in this game. But I don't know, to your point, if you ruin the sauce there by completely, throwing in all these other things to kind of upturn it, where Pepe's more of a like-for-like fit for Balogun, where at least the rest of the team will continue to play behind him.
The chemistry is working. Don't.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, crap. I didn't get my bleep sheet down. 29.
30th minute.
So yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there's no reason to mess with everything just to fix that one. But we're not playing a slouch Belgium side, so everybody's going to have to step in.
And we can talk about them a little bit now, but they barely got through. They did not look good.
Yeah,
I think the most threatening thing for them is going to be their wing play, right? With your Trossards and your Doku, but back four, they don't really have a back four. They're old, they're slow. Balogun would have been perfect to play against them because he would have pushed them on pace and everything. It's certainly going to be interesting. I think being back in Seattle is going to help that crowd, that environment, that field. Right. I think it's going to help if Belgium come out and play anywhere near like they did against the Ivory Coast, I think. I think it was the Ivory Coast, but I could be wrong.
I mean, how much longer do you
Senegal,
think the golden generation of Belgium have left?
Oh,
right? Lukaku's there, De Bruyne,
and they're past that now. They're past that now because they don't have Alderweireld, they don't have Vertonghen. Or if they have Vertonghen, he's like 74 right now. He's like Tim Image times 5.
Right.
And I like Vertonghen. I thought he was a great center back at it. But their back four is Castagna, who played for Leicester City, I think. Now he plays for Fulham. Michel, who's a 33-year-old, plays for Club Bruges. Thetete, who plays a center back for Frankfurt. And then De Kuiper, who plays for Brighton. They don't have the Lukaku's starting. He'll probably come off the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if he did get the start in this just because he could try to bully a Chris Richards around and stuff. I think Chris Richards is very, very good, though, but try to, use a little bit of that broadness that he has with a burst of pace. Not that he's pacey, but a little burst of pace.
Yeah, I think he's just physical enough to push them around.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they're going to have to really pay attention to that because he is, if there's one thing the man is good at is the physicality in the turn and shoot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. He's got almost nothing left of his game, but he still has that.
He does. And he's 33 now, but listen, he still plays at a top league over in Italy. And I think they have talent. They have names. They just don't look cohesive. And they didn't, certainly against Senegal. But we'll see. They may come into it with a bit more, hey, we got through. We came back from 2-0 down. We got through the tie. We're taking on a host country. They're down their star striker.
Right.
So we'll see. I do think we will win. I think we are the stronger team at this moment. And I know we lost 6-2 to them in a friendly earlier this year. I'm aware. Two entirely different teams, an entirely different place, an entirely different tournament. The difference is the reason why it's called a friendly to World Cup. Massive difference.
And most of the starters were not even in that. So most of the starters on the U.S. that are playing in the World Cup were not that friendly.
No. Is it the 4th of July today? God
no,
almighty.
it's tomorrow.
So many damn fireworks outside. I don't know where the...
I know.
Where the heck is that?
My neighborhood's going ballistic right now.
I live in an apartment complex and I live off of the 408. I don't know if they're firing them off the 408 or what they're doing, but it sounded like a damn show that we have at the parks there outside. Holy mackerel. Anyways, we certainly hope there'll be fireworks in Seattle. Good fireworks.
Yeah.
United States fireworks. And we can enjoy a Belgian triple at the end of it.
Heck yeah.
Without feeling disgusted.
Right.
All right, does that take us to halftime?
Certainly.
All right, Ron, you got any beer news for us?
I have some fun World Cup beer drinking stats that I've gone and yanked.
My guess is Scotland will be involved in one of these stats.
So let's since you bring that up, let's just go right to the old Boston. Boston, look, I am so sad that Scotland is out of the tournament just because of the flavor that their fans brought to the tournament. It was awesome seeing all the different stuff on social media and news reports of people playing bagpipes at 6:30 in the morning and, having parties it was just great. 90 kegs, 90 kegs of Sam Adams Boston Lager were guzzled up by the Tartan Army.
90?
That's 90. That's 4,320 US pints.
What?
Just in the, 2 weeks that they were there?
No kidding.
Yeah. 90 kegs. It got so bad that, the Sam Adams tap room, their Boston tap room sold so much that they had to have 4 emergency beer deliveries during the time in order to keep up with demand.
No kidding.
Which is awesome.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah. So from the Thursday start to the end of the first Sunday, the Scottish supporters drank 4 times the amount of beer in that tap room than the tap room would normally sell during the entire 4th of July holiday weekend.
What? Are you serious?
That's awesome. Absolutely bonkers. I love that. There's another bar in downtown Boston that's really famous called Hennessy's Bar. And the Tartan Army generated 3 times their St. Patrick's Day sales. And they were completely sold out of beer by the first Sunday night. That's awesome.
Say that again?
So Hennessy's Bar, which is in downtown, it's a big famous bar. The Tartan Army generated 3 times the St. Patrick's Day sales.
Are you kidding?
And they were completely sold out of beer by Sunday night. Wow. Now, Hennessy's is like the place to go, St. Patrick's on pretty much anywhere in the Eastern Seaboard, right? Like that's the place. And these guys did 3 times the St. Patrick's Day sales in that time. Awesome. Nearby liquor stores within a 14-mile radius sold out of Modelo, Mick Ultra, Budweiser, and Corona. And reportedly, refrigerators were so frequently gone into for beer that several doors were repeatedly broken because the doors were open and closed so many times.
Much? Not because they were storming through them, but because they were just off of their hinge because they were open and closing so much.
Yeah. Now, look, that last one is based on Reddit, but it's based on Scottish people on Reddit talking about their experience. Awesome.
That's awesome.
I love that. So essentially, the amount, this is based on customs data, but roughly 8,000 Scottish fans were in Boston over the 4 days, and 4,932 pints were drank. So you can do the math that it's basically almost a pint per supporter from that one brew, that Sam Adams tap room.
Wow.
It's awesome.
A pint per supporter.
Yeah.
Did you say this? Where the Sam Adams tap room, were all those 90 kegs out of the Sam Adams tap room?
Well, yes.
All the 90 kegs that they drank there was out of the Sam Adams tap room.
Yes.
Shouldn't that have, like, if you're at a Sam Adams tap room drinking Sam Adams keg, shouldn't there be like an unlimited supply?
Well, that's why they went back to the distribution 4 different times.
That is so wild. But they're not like, you're at the damn tap room and they drank them out of the damn tap room.
Yeah, but the tap room and the brewery are not connected.
I know. But it's still, it's wild to like say that out loud and go, you basically drank Sam Adams out of Sam Adams.
It's awesome.
And you did it 4 times over.
Yep. A few others from around the world. England matches sold 5.5 million extra pints in the UK pubs over the group stages.
Jeez.
That's incredible. 5.5 million extra pints in the entirety of the UK. Now, it's going to be, it's going to be a couple more weeks until we really get all the beer stats out of the World Cup, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, even Miami, when the Tartan Army went to Miami,
they play Brazil down there, or
yes.
But yeah.
So not only did Miami beer sales increase by as much as 600%, 8,000 of the Tartan Army members bought tickets to the Miami Marlins versus Texas Rangers game and turned it into a Scotland home game.
Well, they also, we were talking about that on the last pod, they also did that in Boston. Who knew the Scots love some American pastime there with baseball?
It's awesome.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, 600% uptick in beer sales in Miami. So I can't wait for the rest of the beer stats to come rolling in because this has been quite a fun time. So in the next couple of pods, as more beer stats come out, I'll give them to you.
That's wild.
But for now, that's all the news fit to drink.
All right, man. That was fun. Oh, man. I'm going to have to pour myself another beer here, but I'm going to have to pour myself a heck of a lot more beer if I want to catch up to the Tartan Army. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
And this 8% is going down way too smooth, by the way. Very, very good. All right. Let's get back to a little bit of footy. We'll do our 2-minute drill versus our times, however you want to say it, our La Liga's roundup. Found it this time.
Hey, found it.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll discuss all of the other matches essentially from round 32 thus far with, I think it's a 1-0 lead right now by Colombia over Ghana.
Yep.
I turned to the Pride game here, so if you watch that, I'm going to watch the Pride game. That should be kicking off here at 10. But anyways, so let's get through the rounds. And Ron, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So, amongst all of the records being set at this World Cup, Canada set some national records of their own. Canada win their first ever knockout World Cup game, and they go to their first round of 16. I mean, this is just awesome for them. In Qatar, you remember they scored their first World Cup goal ever. Well, this was their first World Cup win, their first time getting out of the group, and their first time winning knockout.
Mm-hmm.
So, cheers to them. This past Saturday, they beat South Africa courtesy of a Steven Estequiao extra time last gasp
Oh,
minute
yeah.
goal that bounced right before the keeper's hand and send our northern neighbors into absolute hysterics and bliss. How about those Canadians?
Yeah, they did okay, eh? Good for them, to win here. Because they a little hard done by South Africa. I mean, but in fairness, Canada bossed the possession, or at least the chances, at least the momentum. Expected goals 1.38, total shots 12, touches in the opposition box 25, as opposed to 8, 6, and 0.14. So definitely went Canada's way there. Just couldn't quite get the goal, and a lot of the African teams, as we'll talk about here, a little bit hard done by some comeback goals, some last minute goals, some kind of heartbreaks. A few of them have gone through in that similar way as well. But it's we'll see how Canada does next going into it. But yeah, you can't take this away from them and what it means to our Canadian friends up north to get their kind of first win in a knockout stage game on essentially home soil. And they do take on another African team in Morocco, which we'll talk about here in a bit, and they are the AFCON champions. So very tough match coming up. It's actually coming up tomorrow as we record on Friday the 3rd. So on July 4th, Canada plays, not America. But, it was interesting in this one, too, because I don't know if you watched it, but they did kind of after the game, put the camera over like a sky cam was over the huddle as Marsh did his kind of, S.C. Marsh did his kind of talk about the team. And I thought he spoke well and did talked about him, them being, I don't remember the exact phrase he used, if it was heroes or models or kind of, that sort of thing for all of Canada as they're watching the sport that is not their number one sport thing. But yeah, all in all, good for Canada.
Yeah, they're going to miss Kone in this game against Morocco.
Yeah.
If you recall, he had a broken tib fib in the group stage, and that's a big loss for them. And I think they're going to struggle against a very quick and cohesive Morocco side. But hey, this is an amazing success for the Canadians.
Yeah, and I think a Tajon Buchanan in this next game could be a really big X factor if he can get on the ball and he can push those backs of Morocco. They might get something out of this game. Mexico were up next, and in the Estadio Azteca, Mexico usually don't lose, and once again, this was true, as they did an amazing job in the first half and bounced a dark horse favorite in Ecuador and made them look pedestrian for large parts of the game, as Mexico scored 2 times in the first half, 9 minutes apart, and that is all she wrote.
Yeah, they just bossed them around.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it was just a bit of a, I don't want to say a shock, because like Mexico don't lose in the Azteca. They haven't lost in like 30-some games, or in like, I don't know, since 2000 and something, like 2006 or 8. It's some insane stat like that. In Ecuador, I think were they your dark horse teams?
They were, yeah.
Just
unfortunately, they could not.
No,
they did not gel very well.
They could not hang. And the good thing for Mexico in this, and how they kind of finished the group and how they won this game, they get to play in Estadio Azteca once again.
Yep, the England
against England. Do you? We'll get to England here in a little bit, but do you, Ron? Do you remember what famous English match happened in Estadio Azteca?
What famous English match?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, not by that description.
England played a very famous match in Estadio Azteca.
Oh.
In a World Cup.
Not offhand.
Hand of God against Argentina.
Oh.
Diego Maradona happened.
Gotcha.
It was the last time that England was in Estadio Azteca. This time they're taking on Mexico, though.
The Germans are out once again, this time at the feet of Paraguay. Yep, Paraguay, that the U.S. beat 4-1, tied the Germans 1-1, and eventually bowed out, losing in pens 3-4. So, what in the name of all things sauerkraut and borscht happened in this game?
Well, you can't ask Julian Nagelsmann anymore because that's the day he gone.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew that was coming.
That was
right.
right on the wall.
I think, look, the world still has these high expectations of Germany, and it's not the same Germany that would grind on teams, be ruthless in the final third, and take a hold of every one of their chances. That's not who the Germans are anymore. Right? You have underperforming stars in this World Cup. Kimmich was underwhelming completely. And Musiala, who basically just came back from injury, looked like he was made of glass. And I get it. He doesn't want to get injured. But when two people like that are underwhelming, Wirtz was as inconsistent in this tournament
not a good season year for him at all.
Liverpool, right? Like the Nagelsmann and the tactical tinkering that he was doing, like we couldn't establish a consistent starting 11. He's constantly changing formations, and against the Paraguay, low block that they set up, they were overly reliant on pumping crosses into the box, and they created no real challenge for the Paraguay defense, because the one trick pony they had was crosses into the box.
Yeah, and this is where stats don't lie and that sort of thing. Well, stats kind of lied in this, because Germany had 76% possession, 1.57 expected goals, 21 total shots, 43 touches in the opposition box. Paraguay, a mere 24% possession. Hell, Arsenal had more against PSG in the Champions League match. And expected goals of 0.35, 7 shots, and only 12 touches in the opposition box. Yet they got it to extra time. They did what they needed to do. They scored first, actually. And then in penalties, they kept their calm. Kai Havertz first up, miss. Make. Voltamada, your second kind of Premier League player there, miss. And then a miss by Paraguay that kept him in it. Literally, that kept the hope alive. Murray steps up, makes it 3-3. Then you think Paraguay is going to win it all. And Fabian Balbuena miss. So now we're tied 3-3. So up steps Jonathan Tall. And I've been a big proponent of center backs taking pens, because I think they do a very good job. Gabriel for Brazil and Arsenal has proved me wrong. Jonathan Tah has proved me wrong, because he missed it just as bad as that. And then Jose Canale stepped up 4-3. And they just held their bottle. They kind of held their nerve. And when you thought that Manuel Neuer, at 40-some years old, is going to be the savior, makes 2 big saves there to keep the Germans in it. And then for that to happen, it's like that roller coaster of both teams, right? The underdog thinking they're going to win. Now we think we're going to lose, to Germany thinking, oh, we should have won. Oh my God, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Oh my God, now. Oh my God, we actually just got caught back up in pens, and we're going to win. Now we have a chance to win.
Can win this.
And then they lose. It's just that up and down, up
awesome.
and down.
Bye-bye, Germany.
They gone. The Dutch are also out as they exited in a similar way as the Germans did, but to a very good Moroccan team whose goal in the 91st minute propelled them to a penalty shootout. You guessed it. There's been a few of those in this round. And Morocco won 2-3 in that. So underwhelming again from the Orange, but but on goes the AFCON champs. And as we talked about, they're going to take on Canada, which I think is a favorable match for them because, you forget that Morocco's ranked number 7th in the world, but they also just beat a number 8 team in the world.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I don't think the Dutch look like the number 8 team in the world at all in this tournament at any point. Didn't necessarily, besides that, was it the Japan match? The match I'm thinking of?
I think so.
No, it was the Sweden match where they won where they won 5-1.
Oh.
That was about the only time you're like, oh man, this Dutch team they're a little bit something there. But prior to that,
fluke.
Yeah, but prior to that, they beat Uzbekistan 2-1. They beat Tunisia. I think Uzbekistan might have been in a friendly preseason. Anyways, they beat Tunisia 3-1. But when you come up against an AFCON champ, you got to do a little bit more than that. And on the day, the Dutch just didn't look like they were ever really going to do it.
The next one up was so sad. Japan took the lead in this match via a beautiful Sano goal in the first half. But in the second, Don Carlos' tactical masterclass changed the blue tide to the yellow. And in the 95th minute of play, a Gabriel Martinelli goal sealed the comeback win for the Brazilians. That was, look.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get when you're coming up against Brazil, right? But Brazil just looked like it wasn't going to be their time. Japan was just pushing and doing everything they could that was right. They had one moment of switching off, and Brazil made them pay. Heartbreak.
And against a team like Brazil, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Just crazy amount from one end to the other in the emotional, like you said, the emotional roller coaster of some of these games. But look, at the end, Japan have something to keep their heads held high.
Yeah, I think so.
They did an absolute wonderful job. And as always, their fans were super polite and cleaned up after themselves.
Here. And on go Brazil. I don't want to say a dark horse, but haven't been as good. But man, they have an aspect that we haven't talked about, and that's Don Carlo Ancelotti.
Yep,
that man knows how to just coach a team, and it showed in this game, and that was the difference.
Yeah, completely. Ugh.
And they play the Vikings. All right, before we get to the Vikings, who in the World Cups are going to beat France? Because, boy, do they look crazy good as they cruise past Sweden 3-0, courtesy of none other than Kylian Mbappe, and he had himself a brace. But in all honesty, who the hell is going to beat them? Because they look scary good.
I know. Mbappe I guess
Messi scored today.
He's tied.
So no,
right?
Messi's
tied.
one above him now. He was tied. Messi's goal in the match today takes him.
Yeah, he was up because of assists. Mbappe was higher than him in the list because of the assists. Yeah,
I just cracked.
I don't know. I mean, France is just sickeningly good. And even though they have I think the way to beat France is that they have a slow start to games.
If you put up a
And
few early.
if you can get in early and get
Yeah.
in a few shots, I think you got a chance. But the second you let them back in the game, it's over.
Yeah, and that's, they're good, man. They are good.
Yeah.
And thank you for the Statue of Liberty.
And the Norwegian Vikings are also moving on. They move on over Ivory Coast, courtesy of no one other than Erling Haaland's late dribbling goal in the 86th minute to knock the Africans out of the World Cup. I mean, it was almost an apologetic goal. I don't know if you saw it, but it wasn't like him burying this thing in the back of the net. It was like a scuff over the top of the ball, and the ball like makes this double bounce, and he's like hesitating as he does it, but he still scores. It was almost apologetic, right? But the rowing keeps rowing. Is next up, it's Brazil for them in the round of 16. That's going to be a fun game. I mean, no matter who wins it, I honestly hope for the narrative that Norway wins it. But regardless,
No, I think, yeah,
it's going to be a fun match.
Yeah, I think so. And just to see, what is forgotten here is in the Premier League, we like seeing what matchup when Man City and Arsenal play. Haaland and
the
Gabriel.
And
guess who plays center back for Brazil?
Right.
Guess who plays striker for Norway?
Right.
Grab a seat, watch this match. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Sir Harry of Kane. One day might actually be a sir, as his brilliant late brace sealed England's comeback over the defensively solid jaws of DR Congo. Man, that Harry Kane fellow's pretty darn good, ain't he?
Yeah, the rest of the team isn't doing all that much,
No,
but
it's essentially him and Bellingham, and that's it. But
yeah,
like
it's getting it done. Now.
They got it done, and yeah, like DR Congo at number 47 in the world here, but brilliant game by a former Man United player, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka was all over the place. He's such a good defender, so good. But some good saves by the keeper there, and just it looked like England were not going to score. But when you have a striker like Harry Kane, that Anthony Gordon substitute, which is made in the 60th for my boy Marcus Rashford, Anthony Gordon changed the game because he got both assists on those Harry Kane goals. And that was a very, very good sub that changed it. And we got somebody on the end of it that's already scored 73 goals this season, if you count like the Bundesliga season, Champions League, DF Pokal, yada, yada, yada. That's a boatload of goals, and he's still scoring them. And scoring him for his country. And how big was that? And what do you get for your nice win there?
It was looking pretty dire, right? And social media was just
the English
they were just destroying the England team until Harry Kane took it upon himself to get England out of the sticky wicket they were in.
Up next, a trip down to Mexico to play one of the host cities at one of the hardest places to play, Estadio Azteca.
As we mentioned a little bit ago, Belgium threw in the tournament by the grain of their triples. See what I did there? Having a triple.
Yep.
As they seal a crazy comeback win over Senegal, who were the better team on the day easily. But goals in the 85th and 89th, and then a penalty in the 120 plus 5th send the Senegalese sailing home. Heartbreak for them. US up next in Seattle for Belgium.
Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about this a bit. A good comeback win just shows you that you're never down and out. Man, I feel for Senegal. They had it, and they let Belgium in the game. They just kept him around. Tielemans was good. Obviously, made that pen there late, but yeah, I don't know. It's Belgium can be a dangerous team. Will they be a dangerous team on Monday? Is the question.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal are through as they came from behind in the second half, courtesy of a CR7 penalty conversion in the 68th and Gonçalo Ramos header in the 94th minute. But did the Portuguese get bailed out by VAR in the dying moment of this one?
As we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I think they got bailed out massive.
Yes, I think they got bailed out. Did I think the defender got the slightest of touches on it, the same way that your toenail can be offside? Yes, I think that also occurred. However, the problem that like Ron and I were having when we were watching this is, was it definitive from any angle? Whether it was from behind the goal or was it from the angle that we saw? Because if you saw it from the one that they kept showing and the one that the VAR had of it being like the camera on like the 30-yard line, if you will, and then across the line there when the ball is played in, it certainly looks like it. And I kept, I kept saying to you as we watched it, I said, I don't see daylight between the ball and the hair of that person, of the defender. So by every measure, but angles, how high the camera is compared to where the ball, all of those things, still hard to tell. And even on the other one that's behind the goal and kind of like on the ground, it's hard to tell because it's not definitive enough to go like he did like a Fabio hair swoop into it type of thing,
right?
But he was trying to head the ball. Like there was a play at the ball, but because of that potential touch, that then ruled that it would have been onside or offside for that attacker because of how the defender then played it, but based off of that touch of when the last attacking player made a play on it and touched it.
Yeah, the reason I think that he did not touch it is because there is no change in the spin of the ball and there is no change in the trajectory of the ball. And they played it a million times frame by frame for the, in the VAR and all that. So look, if there was a touch on the ball, you're going to see some sort of deflection. You're going to see some sort of change in rotation. And there was none of that. So I don't think he touched it. And I think it was a very convenient way for Portugal to move on. But a hell of a game. A hell of a game regardless.
Agreed.
Spain. They rather quietly and comfortably proved why they were the European champions as they cruised past Austria, particularly in the second half with a 3-0 win. I mean, they've been, the spotlight has been on France this entire time, but Spain are quietly good.
Oh, and they always are.
Yeah, and the Oyarzabal brace in this one was just awesome.
And he's a player that a lot of people haven't heard of. He plays in Spain. He has played in Spain for a while. Is it Real Sociedad? Oh, where does he play? Anyways, you don't hear a lot about him in the club season, but he's a consistent player. He bangs in goals. It seems like every time he plays for Spain, he just scores goals. I mean, he's up there in the Golden Boot race. Like he's good. He's a clinical striker. He's a wily type striker. but a great touch of the ball, especially in the box. It's just, they're still good. Like, they're still good.
Yeah.
Even after
Right.
all these years, they are still good. And, you know, I'm trying to look now on how the brackets will kind of play out, but we could, in theory, have Spain playing France in the quarters.
That'd be fun.
It would be wild.
Yeah, because one awesome team is going home.
Mm-hmm. Wild. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Out, out, out. Just today, the Australians went out to Egypt via a penalty shootout. Feels like we've said that a few times in this round of 32. This marks Egypt's first ever knockout stage win at a World Cup. Can Salah propel them through to the next round, that being the round of 16?
I don't know. It might be a bridge too far.
Yeah, I agree. A bridge, a pyramid, you call it what you want, but Egypt are good. Australia's not really that good. They're both similarly ranked. When you get to pens here, it's what Egypt did. 4 for 4. Boom, 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 boom. It's just more clinical. The game was pretty split in terms of momentum, attacking, goals.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the Australia goal was an own goal, or the Australia's goal that they got was an own goal. But you still,
You got to put yourself in the position.
Yeah, and it kind of played out the way that it should have between two teams that are ranked 27th and 29th. And, 1-1, let's go to pens and see who wins the pens. And Egypt did.
Yeah. Man, Cape Verde. Ooh. V Argentina. Whoa. What an incredible game for the ages, right? Argentina eventually wins, but I mean, it took them, I think in the 111th minute, they scored the go-ahead goal, but they still had 16 minutes of basically onslaught from Cape Verde to hang on to. That's just an incredible game.
Dude, I mean, I'm tempted to buy a Cape Verde kit. Like, that's how good they've been in this tournament. And this is their first loss.
Yeah.
Now, yes, they haven't won yet in the tournament, but 0-0 against Spain. You remember that one seemed like ages ago now. 2-2 against, was that Uruguay? Yep. And then 0-0 against Saudi Arabia to help get them through to this round. The world now knows Cape Verde. Half the world probably can't point them on a map, but half, the footballing world and for all intents and purposes, the world. And when I say your world or the world, your mom, your wife, your non-sports fan that probably has heard of Cape Verde. And it'll be some mention about, I heard they did good in the World Cup. Or I heard this goalie got 70 million Instagram followers from this, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's how much of an impact they made on this tournament and how well they did.
Yeah. And for the record, do you know where Cape Verde is?
It's in Africa. It's off the coast of... I want to say Madagascar, but I don't think that's right.
Complete wrong side.
Fair enough. Okay, so I know that's definitely not right. I knew it's on the coast, and it's off, more south, right?
It's off of Senegal.
Senegal, okay.
So just south of the Sahara Desert.
Okay.
And just north of Guinea.
Okay, there you go. But
just awesome.
Awesome. And yeah, Argentina won. And, you would have thought they would have won, I don't know, in full time. It took a center back, a Man United center back by the name that's not goes by Harry Maguire. Lissandro Martinez, who lasted that soccer home. Great goal by his center back. Was happy for him.
Although he probably can't have any more kids after the pounding he took to block a ball late in the 120s.
Yes. Hey, but listen,
that poor dude was on the ground for about 10 minutes.
He's had a lot of practice at that at Man United. I'll tell you that much over the past few years. Has. But no, a good goal in Argentina go through. Yeah, Lionel Messi. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
Sorry, second time I've done
that. Does anyone else find it terribly convenient that Messi got to play this game in his home MLS stadium?
No, I'm probably
find that rather convenient.
Yeah. As I drink out of a McDonald's David Beckham glass, who employs the man, but yeah, I don't know. He scored. He's very, very good. He's probably, he probably goes down as number one player in all time and yada yada yada. He's not my GOAT, but we've been over this before.
Well, I mean, technically, in World Cups, Harry Kane is better.
Well, and yes, he has the most goals in the World Cup as of right now. That's going to be broken. Like, Kylian Mbappe might smash that even in this tournament alone.
Not
let
right
alone,
now.
Let alone the man's only 26. He's probably going to play him at least two more. And if he plays to anywhere near what Ronaldo and Messi are playing, he has like four more World Cups left. So I think he's going to break it at some point. But no, Argentina go through. The champs did what they had to do, and
that's it.
That has been your La Liga's roundup. Do I play anything else?
No.
Okay. I was like, I don't know what other sound thing I gotta play. I think that's it. Anyways.
That's it.
What beer did you have on the pod, Ron?
I had the Unholy from Coppertail Brewing. It's the American Triple.
Love that. For all you out there that know beer, you know what word he left out of that. And I had from Great Lakes Brewing Co. Independence, an American double IPA. Cheers to 250 years of independence with a bold, bright double IPA that raises a glass to freedom. And I'm on my second, and it's going down way too smooth for an 8%er.
One last thing to end the entire pod on is that no matter who loses in this tournament, we are all winners because Zlatan is on the coverage team at Fox.
You're telling me. And I love it I'm not surprised that Fox is doing this, that they're just playing into Zlatan being Zlatan. But he's having such a fun time with it. And I think Fox is doing it quite well. They're not doing it too it's too brash or anything, but it's like...
Yeah, it's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yep.
2 weeks in, he's Employee of the Month.
Yes, that's so great.
The next week, he's the host of the whole show. And then the week after that, he is the head of all sports at Fox.
I love it that it was like your typical Employee of the Month that was like a frame that was bought down the street at your local craft store. Somebody, printed up a PowerPoint of an Employee of the Month thing and then typed his name in and probably had to do it 3 or 4 times to make sure that he spelled it correctly. It's been good, and he's had some good quotes. On Cristiano Ronaldo, when he shouted "I'm back" after that goal in the group stages, Zlatan is quoted as saying, "I thought he never left. I don't know why he was saying I'm back." On Alexi Lalas being absent.
One of his...
Say what?
I think one of his best things is his banter back and forth between Rebecca Lowe is just genius. And she asked him, what is the strategy for all of these winning teams that you're picking? And he said, I don't pick winning teams. Teams win because I picked them.
words to live by. And you know what? It's to tag on to that. It's no wonder that we won when we were playing against Bosnia and Herzegovina, because the words of wisdom and the words of motivation by Zlatan prior to that match were, you want to eat or be eaten.
Right.
Because lions, they don't recover like humans.
God. He's a gift to America, the World Cup, Sweden, AC Milan, Man United, you name it. He's a gift to humankind. Love me some Zlatan. All right, that has been the pod, and usually Blake would do some kind of weird dad jokes. I don't know how to end this. You don't have a dad joke, do you?
No, but feel free to follow us on all the social medias, right? Untapped, where we put all the fun beers that we're having. Feel free to leave us some reviews. And if you do, send us a screenshot of it. We'll get you a magnet and some koozies or whatever out in the mail as a little bit of a thank you. And, you know, as always, tell your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, your sisters, brothers.
Mention Cape Verde to your grandma. She probably knows what you're talking about. Thank you, everybody, for joining the pod and listening to us, even though I have a heck of a stutter there, but that's okay. And everybody, please be safe, have fun, enjoy our 250th anniversary of this great country we call the USA.
Go, go!